How do you stay committed and connected to what you really want? Well, I want to share a few steps that I know have been very important and are still important in my life. And the first one really is that we know what we really want, like at a core level, not just something like, oh, I'd like this or I'd like that. When you find that at the core of your being, what you really, really want, and it's not something superficial, I can promise you that. It's not even something that is rich and meaningful. It is so much deeper. But as long as we have these other layers of what we want and think will make us happy, or think that that will give us what we really want, then we actually have to move through these layers to find out maybe that's not it. There's something in there that we thought was it. And of course, we've experienced it, all of us. We think we want something and finally we get it. And then it's like, that that wasn't all that great after all. Or, the perfect relationship, and we find a partner and it gets very challenging. Not quite what we wanted, because we haven't really found that deeper part inside that knows what we want more than anything. And that's why I want to keep inviting you to explore that. Once you know it, then you will need to make that a regular practice. You need to make it come alive in you, so that when the opposite comes, when the temptations come, the limiting suggestions, the fears, the doubts, when that shows up, and it does, we know that, then you have this gem inside that is growing bigger and bigger every day as you practice embodying it, loving it, nurturing it, nourishing it. It's the more you give yourself to that frequency or that energy, that longing, it starts growing and it gets stronger. So one is that we really need to know what we want deep inside. And if there's still layers that are not fully deep inside, do the work with those. Stay with that longing. Stay with what it is that you want, because it will get you there and it might give you happiness for a while. And why not? We can use a little more happiness in this world. So whatever it is that you really, really want, that really matters to you, make that your commitment every day to nourish it, to welcome it, to feel what it is like. And that is how the whole manifestation movement, it is very much about feeling it and sensing it and imagining that it's already here, because it really is already here. It's only that we keep committing to other things that are not that makes us not fully experience it. I know I've done a lot of work with Dr. Joe Dispenza years ago. I did a lot of his retreats and his meditation, and it's absolutely wonderful. I remember those was this little video he showed where you've heard when neurons fire together, they wire together. So they kind of get connected like that. They're wired as if they're one. And then that becomes our default. We don't even think about it. When these two are wired together, because they've been firing together for a while and now they just kind of start becoming like a one thing, then that becomes our default and that becomes our life experience. Then when you start doing the inner work, what this video showed is like when you start realizing, no, I don't want this anymore, I want that, and then you start focusing on that, they do split apart so that you can start creating new neural pathways for new experiences. But the other very important thing about this was that if you don't do this work and make it a daily practice, they go right back. They're wiring, they're firing and wiring together, and you will be back in your old pattern. You probably have experienced that, right? You go to a workshop or do some meditations and you just feel it, right? You just feel the energy. It's like, yes, lots of positivity. And then you go back to your life and hear all these suggestions, all the old suggestions that want you back into the limitation, into what you are used to, what is familiar. And then it's very hard to stay with the new unless you practice it every single day, many times a day. It doesn't have to be for hours, it can be a few minutes. You take time and just remember what it is that you really want. If it's a relationship, go with that. Feel what it would feel like. What it would feel like when these old wired together ones split off and start creating a new relationship or a new job. And if it's deeper, what does it feel like to be fully aligned and connected with your soul, with your true nature? Going in and doing that every day, that helps these neurons that now have separated, it helps them grow so they can start wiring and firing and wiring with other ones so they get stronger. And that's why the more it's another metaphor of when you go inside and really know what you want and you commit to that daily, many times a day, this energy starts growing and it will make you more confident. It makes you feel stronger. It makes you feel that you are actually able to do it because the yes in what you want is getting stronger than the no that doesn't want that has been too lazy, too scared, too incompetent, too doubtful, whatever it is. Those get less. It's like those are the old fire wire neural pathways. They get weaker as you grow this. So having a daily practice is really important, even or especially the days when these gremlins are knocking at your door, and making you feel these old familiar feelings. I'm not saying it's easy to do it, but there really is no alternative if you want to change. You need to shift your whole focus, your whole energy, your whole neural pathways into having a new experience in this three-dimensional world. It's still not the full reality, but it can certainly be better than if you're just totally identified with the old ways of being and doing things. So the invitation is for you and me daily to really, first of all, take time to know what you really, really want and make that a priority. Make that the one that wins every time the other ones are trying to get you, take your energy away from what you want. And then see what happens. I am going to teach an online class probably within a month called Say Yes to Yourself Without Guilt or Doubt. And the base of that program is to really get to know what you want and make that energy stronger. And it's a process. So it takes a few, 5 weeks to go from here to there, because there's many elements in there that are very important. And when you really understand them, I think you will be more motivated to make it a daily practice. So if you should be interested in that, I would suggest you sign up on my website. The link is below in the comments, and or actually in the description. And then you'll get an email when I'm ready to do that, to present it again. So that's my sharing for today, my friends. I wish you a wonderful day.